Hello. I want to share something with you today that has changed the way I do business going forward. And just this weekend, what I did was I completed my first marathon. And indeed, it is going to change the way I do business, change the way that I work with my students. And so I wanted to share with you today just a few of the things that I've learned from my marathon training that's going to reshape how I work with my students. And one of the key things in terms of just, understanding the parallels between marathon training and the college application process is that, both of them are a process. They take dedication, they take a time commitment, whether you're the student, whether you're the parent. It's a lot that's involved with the college application process that's similar to my marathon training. One of the key lessons from marathon training that I'll be sharing with my students in the way that I'm changing my curriculum is certainly around mindset and the importance of mindset throughout the application process. So there are going to always be others that your teen will hear about that supposedly have a full ride, or perhaps they have higher grades, they have better test scores, all of those sorts of things. But the key thing that your teen must focus on is gaining their own mental edge and keeping their mindset strong throughout the college application process. And certainly, that process is over a number of years in terms of just thinking about, when they, you know, when they reach ninth grade. And that's going to look a little different in 10th grade. It's going to look a little bit different in junior year, certainly in senior year. But they're in that admissions process really throughout high school. And so, just in the same way that I had months and months of marathon training to prepare for the big day this past weekend, the same is the case for them. And I don't necessarily think about high school graduation as being the culminating day, but it's more about completing college as the culmination of it all. And it can feel like a haul, but that mindset is going to be something that's going to be so important to carry them throughout the years that they are going through high school. When they get into the actual applications and start writing the applications, that's going to be a lot that they'll have to deal with. And there's going to be so much noise from others that can be a distraction, that can make them feel less confident. For example, there were times in my training, and one example in particular, when I was in Delaware, near the University of Delaware campus, I was doing a 10-mile run. And I was going around this 2.5 mile loop. And at some point on the loop, there was this guy that was running towards me. And, I just kind of gave him the fellow runner nod to acknowledge that he's a runner as well, and smiled. And before I knew it, I mean, I was on the opposite side and I saw him again. And the thing that clicked, when I saw him was that, oh my goodness, he has lapped me. And so it was easy to, feel a little bit deflated and lose a little confidence because he had passed me and had lapped me in terms of the running itself. So he was a much faster runner than I was. And I still had to really reassess my thinking on that and make sure that I wasn't comparing myself to this person, this complete stranger, and feeling like I wasn't really uh, doing as well just because he was a faster runner. And in the same regard, if you tie that back to the whole college admissions and application process, there'll be times when your teen will feel again that someone is doing better than they are, or they heard that someone got into such and such a school, especially in senior year when they're working through their applications and they're hearing about other students who've been admitted. It can sometimes sap their confidence and make them feel like I'm not going to get in anywhere. And that's not the case at all. And so, in the same way, as I was going through my training, comparing myself to others, definitely was a joy stealer. And um, I say that to my students and to your teen as well, that you support them with, you know, just keeping their mindset strong throughout the duration of this process, and certainly even once they get into college, keeping their mindset strong. So, I'll continue to, share these tips for my marathon training in the upcoming months, and they'll certainly be part of the work that I'm doing with students. And I, wanted to share it because it's, certainly, a significant accomplishment for me personally, because I've never really challenged myself physically like that. But it's one that I've learned so much from in terms of the experience that I can bring it into my business and bring it into my program for students throughout their high school years. Talk to you later.